Just think of it as the rough draft of the podcast world. This is the Newbie Writers Podcast with your hosts, Damien Boat and Catherine Bramkamp.
Yes, I'm back from my apparent operation and bikini wax, which
we couldn't resist. I hope you're all smooth and beautiful now.
of course, who could resist this?
But we knew you had to lay very quietly and to recover, so you wouldn't be able to work the boards. So Dion and I, we took over. We're good.
But yeah, that'd be terrifying. Imagine having some sort of operation. You just wake up to be completely smooth.
Oh no, we wouldn't pay a lot of money for that.
No, but like everything, eyebrows, hair.
Oh, like Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, you're like, what the hell happened? Like, well, you were out of it, and the trainees needed to work on something.
Yeah, what can we say? You were handy.
Keep your hands to yourself. That should be the motto. It should be, welcome to the Newbie Writers Podcast. Keep your hands to yourself.
There you go. Well, that's easy for us since we have like a large ocean between the two of us. So that works.
So, yes, you survived without me, which is good to know.
Yeah, but barely. It's, Dion is lovely, but it's not the same.
Well, yes, Dion is good, but she doesn't have, my manly voice. It'd be a bit of a worry if she did.
That's it. We knew there was something. It was the manly part.
Yeah, the increased testosterone bit.
That was it. Oh, I'm going to have to ping her and tell her.
So most people have turned off by now. It's good, so we can talk about whatever we want.
That's right. They've all left. Okay, sorry. Bye-bye.
So I did listen to the interview with Rob Price. That was actually very good.
Yes, he was lovely. And I've referred some people to him. So he was, I liked him a lot.
Yeah. There's only one criticism I have of you two is that you don't ask the really stupid questions.
I think it's hard for us to do the really out there questions, probably because we're too entrenched in the industry. So I think it was two shows that were much more insider, and that's why I like working with you, because you do come up with other ideas. Like, well, let me pull something from total left field. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, but you just don't want to offend anyone. That's the key, and that's why it works.
Oh, is that what our problem is?
Yeah. See, I could walk away with this and go, meh. Whereas you're like, oh, don't offend them. I may need that person.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
It's like it's a small world, and if I totally screw around, it'll get out. It'll get around.
Yeah, because with Rob, he offers, from what I gather, really good service. But I was sitting there going, this is like one big advert. Can you ask him why his business model is so poor? Because he offers so much for so little price. And yeah. Anyway.
Nope. Sometimes you got to be nice. So that, you're right. It was the nice shows.
Yes, it was. So, look, if anyone does want to have a really nice show where you're just pepped up and have an hour-long advert, you can request that. Send an email in going, Dear Damien and Catherine, I'd love to be on your show, minus the Damien bit.
Minus anybody insulting us.
So, what's actually been happening? Because I have literally had my head down, bum up, and vice versa for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you were either working or sick, right?
I know. I caught the, if anyone's eating, stop. I caught the gastros.
Ooh.
Or as I was calling it, the shart and bath.
No, I don't really want to know, because I managed to say well this week. So my week was bad, but my birthday was good. So I had a good day yesterday on Thursday. And then the rest of it is just like very disjointed. I finished Future Sky. We talk a little bit about that, and how I managed to do that. I managed to finish it. And I have it ready to go for beta readers. And so I put the call out. I've got about 6-7 beta readers. You're going to have to look at it. Because I so look forward to your comments. I have a list of people willing to read. So I've been working on that, and then just doing, my regular job, doing social media. And then just weird stuff like forgot things. And I was in a really bad depressive place on Tuesday. And I don't know if that was because I spent the weekend working on the edits for the book. There's all sorts of reasons that you can get a little shell shocked or a little like postpartum depression after finishing a book. And I thought, no, maybe that's what I had.
Yeah, but you're writing a series, though. Can't you think? I know that thing you're saying, "Oh, it's all finished now," but can't you just jump back into the next one and go, "I'll edit that" until you get over your little hump?
You should. I much preferred wallowing, so I went there.
Great. And then you're like, "Oh, it's my birthday tomorrow." Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I was. It was very ugly, and my poor husband walks in and he takes one look at me and he says, "Okay, so," he said, like he's got a caged lion in his living room. "So should I just leave you over there and I'll stand over here?" Said, "Yeah, that would be wise. Just leave it." I just sat down. I just read a book. I read a murder mystery serial killer kind of horrible book, and that took care of it. Next morning, I was better.
Yeah, right. See, I like the way, Andrew is a very refined man. He comes in, he's like, "Ooh, should I leave you there?" I don't have that ability in me. So if I see the wife there, I end up walking up to her and I just poke her arm.
Yep.
Just keep poking.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know your people.
She's like, "What are you doing? I want you to go away." I'm like, "You'll have to push me away." And yeah. A-hole.
Oh no, he just makes wide circles, throws chocolate into the general area of the living room, and that helps.
I would also like to imagine that he'd come in with like maracas and going, "Happy birthday." It's gonna be one of them days. "Happy birthday later." Here's some alcohol.
It'll be one of those days. It's like, cheer up. Ah!
Yes. Oh, so no, my week was pretty average. But you get that. And yes, I had no choice but to work. And I know that sounds weird. But when you get right down to the end of a very, very big contract and all you need to do is 6 hours worth of work and they go, "Hooray, you're done. We'll pay you lots of money." Sorry, podcast got pushed aside.
Yep. And that's fine. That's part of that. That's part of the deal.
Yes.
Is that money and trips? Just that's what we do. So.
Yes. Well, there was one downside with it though, because we had finished this big job. It was like 40 odd rooms at a school, and we'd been using one of the rooms as a bit of a storage space, and that stuff can build up after a month and a half. Ooh. And so we'd finished, and the guy was about to lock up. He's like, "Oh, reckon you can get that stuff out of that room?" Like, "Sure, not a pro. That's not going to fit in the van." So that ended up, yeah.
Sure. Okay.
It did fit in there for the record, but it was a very awkward drive back. I was like, I can't see anything.
No.
So that's all good. So yes, I haven't done any writing, haven't delved into it other than listened to a bit of Rob's show and a little bit of the show last week with Courtney. So hence I knew about my bikini waxing. Anyway, so Future Sky. We've had issues with our email, so I haven't seen the beta reader request, which I would have jumped on. I would have been like, "Yeah, send it through."
Oh, I haven't sent it out yet. You're just on the list, so I haven't sent out the request. I've gathered it up. I put it in the newsletter that went out yesterday. I'm requesting beta readers, and then I've just been personally asking friends, and they're all they are being very kind and acting enthusiastic about reading the book.
So the question I have for you is, do you have two lists? Because I've never had to do this. I've never had to send it out before. Do you have like the list of people that you know will be like, yes, they'll support you? And then do you have the shit list?
Oh, I have the shit list afterwards.
Oh.
And then the people who couldn't deal or make it happen last round with Future Run, they don't get asked this round. So I'm fairly brutal, but not overly so, I don't think.
Right. So you've got like Beth Barani gonna give me 5 stars, Damien, then and then you move down the list.
You're my 1-star guy.
Sweet.
Well, that's for reviews. Right now, I need beta readers, and so that's the first thing. And then I'll and I've had some people say I can't do a beta read, but I'll do a review for you. So when our book comes out, they'll do a review for Don't Write Like We Talk.
But how's that any different? You still got to read the thing.
Sort of, but when I ask for reviews, I often give a short synopsis, give them an outline so that people have, it's easier for them to give a review and they don't have to read the whole book if they don't want.
Yeah, this is the problem I have with reviews. So you can send it out, you can send your synopsis out and just a little bit of a blurb, and then someone will go, yeah, 5 stars, amazing. Sounds good.
Yeah.
No. Read the damn thing.
And but people are super busy and it's really, really, really hard to get reviews. And so I will, as a writer, I'll do anything to help move that along and get people to, say, here's a synopsis, here's the first chapter, how easy can I make this? Because I desperately need it. There's classes on how to get reviews. There's strategies for how to get reviews. It's brutal. It's a really hard thing to do.
Yeah, but it's as corrupt as the eBay feedback system. So.
Oh yeah, or Yelp or anything else. Of course it is.
Why
I mean, people were buying reviews for years. Fivers, for $5, you get 5 reviews. Done.
I know. Should sign that up. Anyway, so what's?
It'll be your job when our book comes out.
No, I'm not going to stoop to that level.
Come on, stoop with me.
Yes. Now, Future Sky. What? For those who aren't familiar, where's Future Sky sit in the whole future thing, future series?
It is the out of 4 books, it's the 4th, and in the narrative, it's the 4th. And so you start with Future Girls, then you go to, which is the Future 2022 45 to 2145, and then Future Gold, which goes back to 1862. Then Future Run, which is we're back at 2169, and then we go from that 2169, which is Bella and Alex, and those are the children of Charity, our heroine in the first book,
right?
And their adventures, and they go back and forth in time. And I hope I explained more about how they managed to do the time travel. So you asked for that, and that's what I created.
That would be good, just so I can sleep at night.
Yeah. So you're not so concerned.
Wow. Future Sky, though, that should be the name for like the airline that's in the book.
Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for traveling Future Sky.
Future Sky. Yeah, and I got it out of I called it Future Sky way ahead of time, and then I found I had Bella talking to one of the a fellow scientist, and they have to track down things, and they're having their adventure, and she doesn't really trust him, but she finally has to, and she says, well, it's said that women hold up half the sky, and I need help with the other half, and so that's why she connects up with him. So that's where it comes from.
Speaking of sky, I was at the airport yesterday, and I don't know about you, you travel a lot, right? So would this seem disconcerting to you if you heard over the PA system, and ladies and gentlemen of flight, whatever it was, QFV, I don't know.
Right. Something difficult to follow.
Yeah, your flight to Tasmania has currently been delayed due to technical difficulties with the plane. The time that this may take is undetermined at this stage. Thank you.
Oh my God.
And I'm thinking,
it's like, are there boats? Because we could take a boat. Let's do a boat.
I was looking at my coworker. I was like, that doesn't sound good. Wasn't it like a flat tire, or we tried to jumpstart the plane?
I don't often have really big technical difficulties. And I have to say, we've been very, very fortunate. I've only had a couple times where we've had to turn around, or that there's like the landing gear doesn't work. I was in one plane. It was a tiny plane, and I was just on the West Coast, and one of the engines blew out. So that was interesting because there were only a total of 2 engines available.
Oh, better than none.
Yeah, better than none. But the whole plane, it was an itty bitty plane. I heard this big blast. Smoke fills the cabin. There's only it was a 21 person plane, I think.
Right.
21 passenger plane, and the whole plane lists, almost sideways. that was interesting. And the pilot righted it, and he says, "Okay, we're going to touch down in Paso Robles because we're clearly not making it to Sacramento." And he slides the plane in, everything's fine. I look out the window. There's all sorts of equipment out there ready for the whole thing to blow. We have ambulances and fire trucks. It's like, oh, well, I guess this was a little more serious than we were led to believe. I'm glad I didn't panic. There wasn't anything. You can't panic in a tiny plane. There's no place to go.
So would that be really irresponsible if the pilot was like, ladies and gentlemen, this is your pilot, the big bopper. We've had an incident with the plane. I will play you some music. And he just plays Buddy Holly until you land. Anyway.
There we go. That would be lovely.
Terrible.
Worries.
That's why I'm not a pilot. Mile High Club. Okay. Now, we don't really have a show. We're just bullshitting on for a while. But you've got here on the notes something about Pinterest. I've never got into Pinterest. It's just pictures.
No, not kind of your thing. It's mostly for women. 80%.
Right. I love your lumpy internet this morning. I don't know why it's doing it.
Oh,
Missed
sorry.
half of that. There you go. You're back.
I'm back.
So how can being on Pinterest help someone that's writing? You take a photo of your keyboard.
Pinterest is it's very interesting for writing. So for myself, I recommend is that you create boards for your books. And you take pictures of where the book is set. So if your book is set like in London, I was finding pictures and posting them for Future Sky and posting pictures of London. I was posting pictures of Avebury and Stonehenge because that's where some of the action takes place. You can post photos. Usually people use public figures, but photos of like movie stars who look really great as the leads in your book. So you post those pictures, you post fashion, you create as you kind of, it's a great way to get away from the writing. And so you go in and just look at pictures and say, oh, well, that works for the book. That works for the book. And so that's what I recommend. It's another way of interacting. And then for your fans, they can go to the Pinterest board and say, oh, that's what they were thinking of, or, oh, that's where that's located. So it can be a very interesting and mutual exchange.
No.
And that's why I do it. I also post a whole lot for I have a board, Newbie Writers, and I post all sorts of things that I find for newbie writers or established writers, writing classes or tips for better writing. There's all sorts of stuff out there that you just draw it in and post it up. And it also keeps it organized for me. So today I went in and said, all right, I pulled all these interesting works and articles about writing what would be cool for a show, and I found a whole blog called The Worst Story Openings, and ta-da, it's got a show. It's like a show in the box.
Oh, there you go. It's The Worst Story Openings. That would be hilarious if you were reading like, hey, that's my book.
I don't think so. She quotes she does not quote worst story openings. She quotes, the author is Laura Lee, quotes but she quotes good story openings. And so I have a set of both. I have what not to do, and then I have what to do.
We should have her on the show.
I thought of that, yeah. But this was what I had right off the top of my head this morning, and we both had very busy weeks.
So let's do some of these.
Okay.
That one's pretty long, but number one says waking up. Oh God, as if you would start a book typing out beep, beep, ring, ring. Yes,
that is exactly what she quotes. She says so many younger, inexperienced writers will, really, they do two things. They start at the beginning, and they also they have been beat over the head with show don't tell, and so they have to show the person waking up and show the person getting out of bed, and no, you really don't. Pretty much want to start when they're on the bus.
These are like tortured sentences, really.
Yeah.
Weather landscape description. So she's got here. They used to bore me to death when I was younger.
Oh yeah.
I crack open a book, see a description of rolling hills and mountains in the distance. So, yeah, I don't know. It depends, I think, on the the genre that you're reading, would it not?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the medieval fantasy books do start like that. Not over the top, but you do get that thing of they try and set the tone or set the setting more so.
Right.
I guess, yeah, you don't want to be too... Like she's got, the sun rose in the sky, shedding its light across the blah, blah, blah lands.
Rosy-fingered dawn is what we call those cliches from Homer.
Yeah, I don't know. Jury's out on that for me. I don't mind reading that stuff, but...
Well, we're going to, and here's the thing is you have all these, quote, rules, and then the next thing that you do is that you break all of them. So that's what we're talking about. You can start out something. Mrs. Dalloway starts out with Clarissa Dalloway decided that she would buy the flowers. And it's a whole day. The whole book is her day set in place. So it's very, very site specific. And so your number 2, the weather description, what is she doing first thing in the morning is all, would be on the list of never do this again or ever. And then Virginia Woolf is like, oh no, I'm going to do all of this.
Well, this is the thing. And like we mentioned in our book, I don't have a problem with weather and landscape description, but I have a problem with being far too specific in that. So if I don't want to have a whole paragraph of going, well, the spruce trees were such and such, and that was then hedged by an outcropping of some sort of shrubbery. And I'm thinking, I don't even know what they look like. I now need to go and look this up. And you're typing into Google spruce tree in autumn. Like, why do I even need to do this?
Remember.
What? I missed all that. You cut out.
Is that what you can do?
Gone.
Get pictures of them and post it on your pictures board.
No, we don't post them up on our pictures board. I do not want to have to, I don't know. I don't want to be reading a book going, oh, look, I found all these pictures. Now I'm going to end up on Pinterest. So now you're not only you're not writing, you're not reading, you're going to end up just having a Pinterest full of cat photos.
No, you don't have to have that. And I don't.
Well, I actually do I have another tab open at the moment that says 27 cat pictures that are never not funny, but I'll get to that later.
Just to keep yourself going, right?
Yeah, that's right. So, yes, I don't know. Because I don't have a problem with the opening a book with a nice sort of rolling landscape, but don't get too specific. I'm not a horticulturalist. I don't plan to be. So
yeah,
I think it is fine to say that the towering trees had a red tinge to them. That is fine. I'll make up my own mind what they are.
There you go.
Cliches like once upon a time in a land far away.
Now, this is interesting because, and I made a note about this, forgetting that for a good urban legend, those always begin with, I heard this from my best friend's aunt, so it must be true. She was trying to dry off her dog and put it in the microwave. Everybody knows that story, and the conceit is the same. So the once upon a time, I would argue it's not so much a cliche as a classic. It's a way of entering into another time. And you probably could start a story that way if you really want, if you wanted to twist around once upon a time, 20 minutes ago. You can manage that.
But isn't it then audience specific a little bit? Like if you do want to capture that really young market, just say once upon a time in a land far away. That's probably trademarked anyway. You probably can't use it.
I think you can. But yeah, once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away. We have those, and you can use them, and if it's appropriate, of course. And I think that there's probably some brilliant stuff.
Well, yeah, there is.
Shades.
There's some, like the Mr. Men books. They start off similar to the Once Upon a Time, but he does it slightly differently.
There you go.
And it becomes his sort of thing. Like he might say, there's a place called Happy Land where the day is long, or something like that. He starts it off like that. But yeah, I don't know. I would be a bit worried if I did open like an adult book, and it, like say in Future Sky, you're like once upon a future in a land far, far away. I'd be like, yeah, you're done. Close the book.
I have my opening. We'll talk about those, the better openings in a minute. But yeah, I have my opening line for Future Sky.
Really? Description of the town, kingdom, and planet. World building can be fun, but in general, it's too early in the story for readers to care about the kind of cars people drive in your world and their system of government and how the town got started. That I agree with.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I've had that so many times where I'm reading and I'm reading and I'm reading and I'm reading, and it's all about, here's how the world was developed. And okay, here's how the world developed. Here's how the islands came to be. Who does that all the time? James Michener. And we cheerfully start with a tiny molecule, and then it grows into a great big island that turns into Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, he does it. I think he's the only one who can get away with it, because for the rest of us, we don't have a lot of time to convert our readers, and we don't have a lot of time to grab their attention, and they're not going to sit still through a whole lot of world building. So you have, I don't know, one line.
Don't even need that. I think, people want action.
Yeah, they want to be pulled into the story. So it doesn't necessarily have to be action, but it needs to be emotional, and it needs to have some pull. And sometimes the world building, I did a book review, and the book was perfectly good, but it demanded such elaborate world building that I lost the action and I stopped caring about the characters. That's what you want to avoid.
Well, I think Robert Jordan does it with his Wheel of Time thing. Every book starts off with something along the lines of, we don't know where it began, but a breeze started somewhere and it trickled down to here and through the valleys. And look, the first couple of times I read that, I was like, that's a pretty interesting way of starting a book. By book 12, I was like, I get the point.
I get it, right.
There was a wind. Someone had gas and the world started. So, I don't know.
Terry Pratchett does a good job with just reminding you about his Discworld, and he throws things in, and his turns of phrases are so interesting and beautiful that you read a few paragraphs of it, you're like, yeah, okay, that's right, and we got this and we got this, and then he launches you into the characters and he launches you into the action. So I think I pick up any Discworld Terry Pratchett book, and that is a good way of doing world building.
See, I started my story with a bar fight.
Yes, I like that.
Right,
much better.
It does two things. It automatically sets up the setting, because you can throw in a little thing, be it like someone threw a tin cup of mead, whatever. You go, right, that puts you in the era, medieval type thing. But it throws you in straight away. The first line, you are right. Someone just punched themselves in the face. Whatever. You don't need to have. Well, he decided to go to the inn, and then there was a fight. Piss all that off.
Right.
Just
put it in the middle.
Just start it with, he ducked a chair flying across the room. You're like, well, why is there a chair flying across the room? Where are they? They're the questions you want to have asked straight away, I reckon. Oh, yes.
There you go.
Detailed character descriptions or backstory. Yeah, we know that. You don't need to.
No backstory. No backstory.
Yes.
Backstory is for much, much later.
Don't do a prologue. I agree with this. Please do not do a prologue. I never read them.
Yeah.
I care not about that. That is just a poor excuse for an extra chapter at the start to dump all of the backstory, really.
I think so. And there's an argument that could be made where if you need a prologue, perhaps that is your first chapter. It doesn't. Sometimes it works. I don't know. That's a good question. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it's just sometimes the prologue will be the one time that you are in the mind of the serial killer, let's say, and he or she is stalking around and sees their victim, and then the rest of the book you don't go back into that viewpoint of the monster. And I just read a book like that. That was what I was nurturing myself with, is a serial killer. Sometimes that's what you just need to read. And the prologue is him stalking somebody, and then that sets you up, and you say, oh, I wonder who he's stalking, and you don't find out till the end of the book.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember reading, so I can't remember it now. It's like a prologue, but it was like based on, it was a little excerpt of someone else's story, like the high elves of such and such, whatever. And you're like, okay, where's this leading? It finishes, and then the actual story starts, chapter 1, and it's nothing to do with that. It was almost like he was going, ooh, might just give him a bit of side story here of another class of people. Like, who gives a shit?
That's interesting. And they never came around to fill in and come back to.
Not that I was aware of.
Wow.
So
yeah, I would be very cautious about doing something like that. Absolutely.
More like testing the waters before blogs.
Yeah.
Hey, that prologue about the high elves is amazing. You should write a book. Really? Oh, that's a good idea. Addressing the reader directly. I've not seen this because I don't really read books that do that. But
fourth wall. Welcome to my story, A Magical Place.
Yeah, that'd be a bit weird.
Yeah. However, my favorite conceit is the late 19th century writers, the Victorian writers, who will throw in "Dear Reader." I love "Dear Reader." It's just, especially it's early young adult Louisa May Alcott writers who would say, "Well, dear reader, as you know," or "Well, dear reader, you would never do anything like that." And I think that's hilarious. So I get a kick out of that.
Does something like this, though, become a bit more prevalent thanks to, I guess, that whole Sex and the City concept? There's a number of books that came out around that time.
That fourth wall and directly. And it very much has been, in the last probably 100 years, where you have, like Our Town was specifically like that, where they have the narrator is talking to the audience. The audience is sort of part of this play. It's not just the play with you backed off. So yeah, it's interaction. You're part of the scene. Some people love that. Some people are like, nope, just put everything up on the stage. Do not talk to me.
And how do you end that? Like, once you've finished your main story and you've addressed the reader at the start, do you finish it off by saying, so there we have it. That was the time I ended up with asparagus in my nose. Like, what do you do? How do you end it?
I think you do that. And I think there's a number of television sitcoms that follow along those kinds of conceits, where the main character will look directly at you, the watcher, and communicate with you. House of Cards does that, where Kevin Spacey directly addresses the camera, and if it absolutely can work, and then sometimes can be totally botched. And so I don't recommend a inexperienced writer doing that. I think once you get your groove and you're better at what you do, maybe you go into that mode. But it depends on the book and on the genre and everything else.
Wayne's World did it really well in the movie. Anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
Telling the reader your work of fiction is a true story. Who the hell does that? I've never seen that before. I've lost you now.
Who does that? I think Lemony Snicket does that a little bit. Some writers, John Green, some of the more popular YA writers will say that they'll do that. This is a totally true, 100% true story. But I would agree that it's not something that you want to just blur out. It's like, oh no, this is really true. No, you're making. Nothing is really true. I mean, we can get into that conversation.
No, but this is a true story about magic and rock trolls. Or in your case...
Right.
This is a true story about time travel.
Yep. You can't do that.
Don't do that.
This is a totally made-up story, and which, by doing so, we create some universal truths. That's the goal.
Yeah, just don't, please. An outlandish, shocking, zany hooker. Well, they're expensive, from what I hear.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I think as I pointed out, a super crazy hook, like having blood shoot out of the heroine's eyes, probably should be delayed by a few sentences and not be the first thing that you write.
I see what she's getting at. So many beginners start with, when I woke up that morning, I had no idea my little sister would turn into an alien and try to kill me.
Right.
Then
again,
the end.
I woke up this morning and I had turned into an insect.
Yes, but only giving away the whole story. When I woke up that morning, I had no idea my little sister would turn into an alien. Okay, well, so she's going to turn into an alien at some point. Brilliant. The end.
The end. That's why it doesn't work.
Anyway. Things the reader does not understand. Don't have a bunch of dialogue with no tags. Well, that kind of goes without saying.
What I interpreted that as, and I've had this experience, and I have put the book. It's like having a conversation filled with all sorts of new vocabulary from this new land and world that you just built, or from an alien planet. And there's all these proprietary terms, and there's all these, they have maybe they have lengthy names. Think of a Russian novel where they're not only everybody has Russian names, but they have 13 different.
I love the internet.
It's very confusing. Don't confuse us. You start us slow. Give us something we can hang our life on. Right? It's like creating for me, I look at creating a future world. I keep some things, quote, old-fashioned, because if I reinvent every bloody thing that somebody is working with, touching, doing, there's no way the reader can follow it.
Yeah, that's right.
So I pull back a little bit. It's like, okay, well, we can make that really super weird, but let's have some grounding moments so that we can, the reader can put him or herself into the story.
That's why I try and ask those questions of our guests. When they've got a new language or they've got weirdly named characters, I'm like, how do you pronounce this? And when they go, oh, I'm not too sure. I go, you idiot.
You need to be kind of sure. That'd be good. Sure.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. Definitely. So we have a list of some better openings that I cherry picked from Laurel's blog. This one is a classic. There was a boy called Eustace Clarence Scrubb, and he almost deserved it.
No, I'm pretty sure he did deserve it.
Well, he deserved it almost 2/3 of the way through the book, and that's from The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which is C.S. Lewis, The Narnian Chronicles. That's the third book in the series. And then The Pride and Prejudice, classic. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife.
You reckon?
You reckon? It's beautiful. Austen is fabulous. And I have not read this book because of the Winn-Dixie, excuse me.
The Winn-Dix
is India Opal Bologna. And last summer, my daddy, the preacher, sent me to the store for a box of macaroni and cheese, some white rice, and 2 tomatoes, and I came back with a dog.
And I would close that book and go, nope, and move on.
Well, what about Chasing the Falconers? Read that one.
It wasn't a prison. Not technically, anyway. No bars, cells, electrified fencing, guard towers, or razor wire. It's called being married. Cool. That was a good one. That was a zinger.
And then we just talked about not addressing the audience. So this is from The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. Look, I don't want to be a half-blood. If you're reading this because you think you might be one, my advice is close this book right now. Believe whatever lie your mom or dad told you about your birth and try to lead a normal life. I like that for the reverse psychology of it.
Yeah, but still, you've spoken to me in the book. Nope. I don't know.
And then The Phantom of the Opera. The opera ghost really existed. He was not, as was long believed, a creature of the imagination of the artists.
Yeah, Phantom of the Opera. Gaston Leroux. Such a good name.
There you go.
Such a good name.
And then my opening for Future Sky is her mother was sobbing over the phone. Her brother was hitting on a girl covered in blood. And she was never, ever supposed to drink, fraternize, or otherwise step foot in the Duck and Screw. Yet here she was.
Yes, the good old Duck and Screw. You know that you and Andrew are going to have to open a pub now called that.
I know, or at least find a sign. Put it above some pub when we're in England and say Duck and Screw.
You know, if you get to a point where the end of the world, or at least the town, has come under some sort of heavy fire, I really would love a reference that someone graffitis that sign and puts screwed at the end. So it's duck and screwed. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
that's kind of fitting for your entire series. Every time they step in there, I don't know.
Duck or you're screwed. Yeah.
Yeah, duck or you're screwed. Actually, that's a good idea. Cross out the and. So, okay. Opening lines then. Did you go back and add that? Or that was how you started and you're like, yep, I'm happy with that once you finished and you went back and looked at it?
Since Future Sky came hot on the heels of Future Run, that was pretty easy. So I just picked up where Future Run left off. Future Run and definitely Future Girls, those two, I really worked that first line. I spent some time and energy really trying to get it exactly right. So sometimes they come pretty easily, and other times you're just like, oh my God, we've got to make this work. And you do your best. Shove it in there. We can make this happen.
Should start it off with, dear reader, this is a story about future travel time stuff. And then just start.
And it's probably not true.
That is probably not true.
At least I'm pretty sure it's not true. I'm almost positive it's not true.
There's no shopping in this one.
Right. There's very little shopping in this one. I promise.
Good. I like you did that in the other one. One of them, didn't you? They're in an old
Future Gold. She had to shop for clothes because she was wearing a very futuristic outfit and needed to look a lot more mid 19th century.
Yeah, that's right. Only you could put shopping in a book. All right. Anyway, so yes, we've covered crap openings, better openings, and Pinterest. I don't know.
So, you want to do a prompt?
Yeah, we can do a prompt. Why not?
All right. Which is more evocative, a photograph or a story? Which do we remember, the Pinterest pictures or the comments?
Depends on who you ask.
Totally. So you're right about that. But what is the difference between visual and story? Do they need to go together? Do you need to set them apart? Are they very different? That's the prompt.
See, I remember the comments more so.
There you go.
I don't know because I'm a weirdo, but I love reading them.
That's the question.
It's so random. You can be watching a video on YouTube, or looking at a picture, and there'll be someone who'll just post up, "My beard is tingling right now." You're like, "What?" Yeah.
What?
I know. It's all good. All right. Should we do a tortured sentence?
Yes.
Next time, don't put the wrong emphasis on the right syllable. Tortured sentences. Okay. The World According to Student Bloopers. Is this a made up one? It must be.
No. This came from my students, but Richard Lederer's students.
I need to read this out, but I don't know why there's a space in between that word. So maybe I should read it.
I don't either. I just took it.
Benjamin Franklin invented electricity by rubbing cats backwards and declared a horse divided against itself cannot stand. Franklin died in 1790 and is still dead. I would hope so.
I like the horse divided against itself.
Yeah. You just which end do you want to be? Head end or ass end? Yeah.
It's like one of those horse costumes where the back end wanders off for the hors d'oeuvres. It's like...
I studied electronics and electricity and all that sort of stuff. I don't recall in my first basic 101 course ever having the lecturer say, now, they discovered electricity by rubbing a cat backwards. Not backwards and forwards, but backwards.
Just backwards. Somehow that's going to work. I think that was pretty entertaining. So we love those.
I know. And now I'm really wishing that the lecturer had bought like a sack of cats in. Like, we're going to rub these together. My God. Who comes up with this crap?
Students. It's awesome.
If only I could find my essays and see how stupid they were. That might be a good thing to do, actually. I might go and talk to my mother and say, have you got any old essays from when I was at school?
Pedantic. Yeah, I threw mine out. I just couldn't stand it. They were like so wordy and bloated, and because that's what you were trying to do, is just to write in that very difficult academic language. I was like, okay, never mind. We're not going to look at those again.
Yeah, right. But that could be a super bring out your dead. I'm going to see if I can find any.
Yeah, if you can, that'd be fun. Mine are gone.
How convenient.
I know.
It's always me reading
I
out.
almost knew you were going to ask.
Yeah, right.
So smart of me.
What about Andrew? Hey, well, what we could find out if one of your boys wants to cough up one of his year 11 essays. That's what we need.
Oh, okay. I'll have Michael do that. We won't understand a darn thing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You find one of his articles.
Yeah, do that. That'll be fine. And we can berate him,
Yeah.
And he can't defend himself, which is amazing. I love it.
He doesn't care.
I know he doesn't.
He has a good job with Microsoft. He does not care.
Yeah, maybe I will be nice to him because he could log into my computer and destroy my world.
Yes, he can. That's one of his jobs.
Word of the week. Where on earth did you get this? Lift up.
This. Oh, this is a great find. This is what Dion told me about, the meaning of lift.
Lift. Sounds like somebody's got a lisp.
Yep. By Douglas Adams, he who wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe. And what he did was he took place names, UK, matched them with better meanings.
Right.
I have a whole list of them. I'm going to order. There's 2 books. There's 2 dictionaries of these made.
Yeah, right.
The definitions are made up.
Your internet's taking a poop again. It's annoying me today.
Sorry about that. Well, we're only here for a few more seconds.
Yep, that's all
so
right.
do you want to go for this word?
From the UK, so I have to put my UK voice on.
Yes.
Astley. I think it's come from Arsley. Arsley. Yeah, right. Astley. A liqueur made only for drinking at the end of a revoltingly long bottle party when all the drinkable drink has been drunk. And you know that we've all been there.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And we pull out the stuff where it's like, I don't know what this is, but it was a gift. That's what the final thing, because nobody cares. Sure, let's drink that too. And it's some sort of awful, sweet pomegranate thing. Oh, yeah.
And for that reason, we don't have any of that strawberry liqueur shit in this house anymore.
Oh, good idea, because that's deadly at the end because of the sugar levels. Yeah.
Yes. Remember that a long time ago? And I said to the wife, why is this even here? She goes, well, we had a cocktail party a long time ago. I'm like, oh, my God, we must be desperate.
So you just move it out. Or you take the really, really good liquor and you put that away. So drunk you don't pick it up and say, hey, I've got a bottle of 56-year-old scotch. Let's open this up, because no one's going to pay any attention to it.
Yes, but see, I don't have good stuff like that.
You'll get there. You'll get.
No, I buy decent scotch, and this is my mentality, right? People can collect wine; they can do whatever they like, but at the end of the day, that's something that was meant to be drunk. So if I buy a good bottle of scotch, I drink it.
Oh yeah.
I don't torture myself by having it on the shelf, going, "Oh, better not drink that. That'll be worth something in 10 years." Nope, it's liquid.
I agree with you completely. We have a very small wine cellar, because we just bring it in and we drink it, and we bring it in and we drink it. We don't. Yep. We're not trying to quote collect it, because I look at we have friends who have this wine cellar with like 1,000. When are you going to drink all this?
I know. Why?
That makes no sense to me. Yeah. Well, and we live in wine country, so when we're ready for some wine, we go out, we get it, we bring it in, we drink it.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's the same with some toys, and people buy toys to purely just go, well, there'll be collector's items now. I get that. Some things like comic books or whatever, they're worth millions of dollars now. But back then, people still read them. I don't know. I like, if something's made to be used, use it, please. Oh, I don't like collecting crap. I agree. Anyway, that's my rant.
Read the book, drink the drinks. Absolutely.
Yes. Now, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Give a shout out wished me happy birthday yesterday. I had about 112 happy birthday wishes, and that was really nice. That made the day go by really beautifully. So thank you for all of those good wishes.
If anyone missed that was 112, I think.
Yep.
Not that you were counting.
Well, Facebook counts it for you, so it's easy. It's like, oh, look, got that many responses. So
That dreadful thing. Yes. Shout outs. Oh, I don't know. Who can I give a shout out to? I can give a shout out to the Room 9. I think it was the Year 6 class at a school yesterday, Grange Primary School. We changed a projector over for them, and we had a standing ovation from all the students. It was very weird.
that's cute.
Yep. So the new guy I've got working with us, he was a bit dumbfounded. He was standing like, "What the hell is happening?" I'm like, "Just take a bow. That's all you've got to do. Just take a bow." Anyway, so they'd been
just go with it. It's cool.
Yeah, so they've been without a projector for about 10 weeks. First world problems. Anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely a first world problem.
So there we go. All right. Well, thank you for enduring.
Next week, dude, you're on your own.
I am. Yes. Next week we've who have we got?
We've got a science fiction author who you are going to track down.
Yeah, my brain's gone blank. He's a very good author too. Oh, this has been a no-show today again, but that's fine. At least I'm back. Look, and if anyone's wondering, the reason why is I personally think that the guest we have booked, someone else higher up, maybe their publisher stepped in and just went, "Oh, I'm sorry, we weren't aware they were booked to come on your show." So shout out to them.
Yeah, well, yes, they're trying their best. It's very difficult when I get. What happened was that you get the publisher who comes to me and says, "Oh, my people would love to be on your show," and I say, "Great," I schedule it, and then finally at the last minute I get the actual direct email for the authors who then say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're in England and we can't do the show. At that time we've got other commitments." It's like, okay, this is why I hate that whole third-party organization thing. Just saying.
And all we heard that your co-host was an Australian male idiot, and we don't want to be on the show.
No, I don't think that was it.
Anyway, and also watch this space. The podcast awards are coming up, so it'd be nice if anyone wants to chuck us a vote or a nomination. That'd be cool. I'll post the details at some point. I saw an email come across. Like, we'll do that again, maybe.
Sure, let's give it a try.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
All right. So until next week, we'll see you then.
See you then.
Your book starts here on the Newbie Writers Podcast.